What's going on, guys? Ida here. Today we're doing another episode of the 10-10 challenge, and we are in episode 11, and we have the same squad as we did last time, and I will meet you in the match. Okay, this guy has a fairly decent team. He's got Butland in goal. He's got Zuma and Vertonghen centre backs. Danny Rose. He's got Ericsson. He's got Dembele. He's got Dele Alli, Sterling, Mahrez, and I always forget the striker's name. I can't remember who he is again. He's always on there, and I always forget his name. But we're finally into a game, which is better than what happened in the last one. Right, let's try and not let this guy counterattack us, because I'm sure that is pretty much all he's looking at doing, because all three of his forward players are pretty much just pacey, quick, agile, and it's Ahmed Musa, that's who it is. I always forget who he is, or what his name is. Okay, right. Today, what I'm looking at for my... Okay, that's an interesting... I'm so lucky there. I thought he was gonna just shoot, and so I was just sort of had my finger on the wide button just to bring the keeper out, and then it came. I changed player at the same time as it came to my other player, and so I had the Y button depressed down with the left bumper, so I changed player at the same time as doing a chip, but it went back to the goalkeeper for some reason, and yeah, that happened, so that was interesting. Also, I forgot to say Kolarov. I was looking at him and I didn't say him, I just remembered that. Yeah, he's got Kolarov at right back. But yeah, my topic I was thinking of talking about today was going to be about Alexis Sanchez, because there's all this talk about him signing a new deal or not signing a new deal. And today, I'm recording this on the Friday, and I was listening to the radio earlier, and they were saying that, or Arsene Wenger's press conference before the weekend, nice tackle, he was saying that Sanchez is going to stay, but from the man who's not even sure if he's going to be there next season yet, or nobody knows whether he's going to be there next season or not. I know it's a sweat, but I'm doing it. But for a guy that doesn't know he's going to be there or not next season, it's kind of a bit hypocritical of him to say he doesn't know he's not going to announce what his future is going to be, but he's all right telling somebody else what their future is. Obviously, Arsene Wenger's contract runs out in the summer, whereas Wenger's does run out in the summer, whereas Sanchez's doesn't run out in the summer. Obviously, he's got like another year after this season's finished. So I guess in that sense, he could say that Sanchez is staying or going. But when he doesn't even want to confirm his own future, he's going on about somebody else's. And I don't blame Sanchez, really, because he's got so much in him, and he's definitely their best player. Like, you could say Ozil is, and that's a nice ball for Aspas if he's not offside. And he's not offside. Oh, he read me that time. I did the same thing. I should have just cut back inside. Oh, come on, Pedro, let's get there. Cut back. Okay, that's interesting. With Alexis Sanchez, though, he has his choice of, I'm going to say, the second sort of tier of top teams, because he's already been at Barcelona. He's not going to go to Real Madrid. Maybe Bayern Munich, but the players they have, I don't know whether that's offside. I don't know whether he would go to them either. So what I mean by like the second tier is the sort of top Premier League teams like a Chelsea or a Man United, who are sort of in that top tier, but their league position the last few years sort of switches that perspective around of where they actually are. But with him, he could go anywhere he wants. And the thing which is going to piss off Arsenal fans as well is that the contract he has, he's got a year left, they did this with Van Persie. They let his contract drag down and drag down, so he didn't have long left on it. And they got 20 million for him, fair enough. But if you look at it, that Van Persie deal, 20 million for a guy that basically won Man United the league with his goals that next season, that's like 100 million to Man U. So really, they gained 80 million from signing a player, which by my reckoning is pretty decent compared to not winning the league and not signing a good striker. Oh, I nearly got there with Dragueros, I think that was. Yeah. I need to sort of figure out this guy's attacking, because it's all about the pace, so I need to make sure I don't get caught out too much. Now, from my perspective as a Chelsea fan, foremost, I am kind of selfish and I do want us to get Sanchez. So if he didn't sign a new contract at Arsenal, I kind of wouldn't really care, because it would be great if he could come to Chelsea. What? How is that a foul? I don't know. But I think the next thing that I was going to say in that is with Sanchez, his skill, he can, he has his choice of those sorts of clubs. And if Arsenal aren't going to give him the contract, or, I was going to say what he wants, but it's sort of what his agent negotiates for him, then why not leave? Why not question the future? Why not try and make it where you could get extra money from the same club you're already at, but maybe you get a chance to move? And that's a very, very nice finish from Sane. Doesn't look anything like Sane. He looks like a Willian, but a less dark, less black Willian from a couple of seasons ago on this game. It's the same sort of deal. They were like, oh yeah, let's just make him sort of, I don't know, 5'11", 6 foot, 5'10" maybe, and give him an afro. That'll work. That's Willian. That's Sane. That's a goal for Kolarov. And you're dabbing your 2-1 down, Mr. Italy man. Is he wearing an Italy kit? I think so. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, fine. With Sanchez, though, it's the same deal with Arsenal every time, though. Their top players, they just run their contract down and down and down. Because even if Sanchez wanted... Okay, half-time. Even if Sanchez wanted 300 grand, let's say something stupid like that. Wow, I've been quite lucky, 2-2. Even if he wanted 300 grand, he's got a year and a bit left on his contract. Let's say a team did want to come in for him in the summer. Let's say a Man United or a Chelsea were like, right, this is the guy we want. We want him now, and we want to sign him. And we're going to pay XYZ for him. If he's only got a year left on his contract, XYZ is a lot less than XYZ if he has a lot longer on his contract. Ah, Pedro. Oh, still got it. Nope. Okay. That was weird. But yeah, the XYZ would be a lot more if they just gave him, say, a 3-year deal, 300 grand a week. They could sell him for a lot more than 100 and whatever grand a week he's on at the moment, and 1.5 years left. Aspas with the finish, simple goal. Lovely. Right. Back in the swing of things. 2 ahead again instead of 1 ahead. I'm quite liking this team at the moment. I know the links aren't there, but I do feel with this version of FIFA, the links, or Ultimate Team I should say, because the whole game doesn't revolve around the chemistry and links and all that. It's like, if you play in contracts, if you're playing the career mode, that's what I wanted to say. It's not about that, obviously. But yeah, I'm liking this team at the moment. Rigi couldn't get there. I tried something a bit different to try and push on and get that ball, but it didn't work. Yeah, it's something that you have to think. Like, if Arsenal hadn't done that with Van Persie, then they might have got even more money for him. And yeah, Man United probably would have won the league if they'd bought him again. The same sort of scenario would have happened, but they would have got more money for themselves. Because you look at, great example is of Tottenham at the moment with their sort of, I think maybe top 4 or 5 players. They've got Alderweireld, I think, signed a new one. There was Vertonghen signed a new one. Harry Kane signed a new contract. Ali signed a new contract. I think Danny Rose and Kyle Walker might have signed new contracts too, which is pretty much, their best sorts of players. If you took them out of the team, that's where they go bad. If you take out some of the others, they have replacements for them. But you look at when they had Bale, I think they did the same thing. They put him on at the time, because obviously the wages at the moment have gone ridiculous because of the new TV deal. But at the time for Tottenham, he was a very high earner, and I'm sure, I'm guarantee that put his price tag up for Real Madrid. Because if he was on, let's say, the contract that went in, all right. But let's say the contract he had before that was 70 grand, and he got put up to, let's say 200 grand. I'm not quoting actual figures here, but let's say he was on that. You really think that Real Madrid are going to pay a bloke that's got a couple of years left on his contract on 70 grand? They're going to pay 80 million for him? Or do you think that a guy that's got a 5-year deal that's on 200 grand, they're going to spend 80 million on? I know which one I'd have to spend the money on. And it just seems like Arsenal don't want to do that. It's like, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things that they don't want to do. Whether they think that they're getting a better deal because they're getting rid of the player, and then it means that they get to buy somebody in. But it's like, if that player's already going to leave anyway, then why not try and sort of persuade him to leave? If he does leave anyway, you get the money. So I don't understand why they would do that. So, I don't know. Arsenal for you, isn't it? Maybe it's their business plan, and they aren't really fussed as long as they get some money for the player. Because there's all that thing about if Arsenal finish 4th, they get the money, and their board really don't care a whole lot. Nice little touch from Origi. Can we spin? Wasn't controlled. I was trying to go spin inside there. Okay, and first corner of the game, I think, for me. And I can't do corners, and this is a rubbish corner. Yeah, straight to the keeper on the header. Might have got something out of it if it was a better header. Ah, Sane. He was chopping in and out there, but he's not going to do very well there. I need to check whether Sane has the fast dribble trait, because I think I remember seeing before City signed him, he was the top dribbler, or like one of the best dribblers in Bundesliga. So he must have pretty good stats on here. Sane! I was trying to do a little chip back into Sane and try and score. I had the left trigger down to try and do something there. Back Origi header. Nope. Oh, it didn't intercept that one. I was going to say I quite like the defence, but that happens quite a bit when I'm playing with this team. And that's something I've noticed, especially at this point in the season and the league we're in. A lot of the teams are the same, because there's obviously a lot of Premier League players that are average, and they get so. Ooh, that was a good shot. There's a lot of players that get sold for pretty much the same price, and it's sort of one of those, when I try and look at building a team, maybe that's why I do lose a lot more. Outside of this challenge, maybe the reason I lose more games than I probably should is because I do try and do something a bit different with my teams. Because if you have the same players against the same players against the same players, it sort of is just, a 1v1, and you have to be just technically better at FIFA than that person. If you try and pick players and make some sort of, I don't know, hybrid team with different players that people don't normally use, they don't necessarily know exactly everything about that player. Like, if I went on to, I don't know, let's say the Uruguayan league, and there was 4 or 5 players I could pick that were pretty good. I don't know why I said Uruguayan, I meant Argentinian. If I could pick a few players out of those, that nobody knew who they were and managed to link that in with, let's say, a couple of La Liga Argentinians, I think that team would be a lot better than just a general La Liga team or a generic Premier League team. Might be something I might experiment with at some point in the future, but we'll see. But anyway, that is the end of the game, and that takes us onto... Is that another hat-trick? Oh, no. Wow, that was that was nicely spread out on the goals. 4-1, good. That takes us to 9 points, I do believe. Yes, it does. And promotion is 1 point away. And for the title, that's 2 wins away. So hopefully, in 3 episodes' time, we could do another pack opening. But that is going to be the end of the episode. So thanks for watching, and peace.